Hello, all. My name is Brian Sneesick from the User Experience team, and thank you for joining the TT Live webinar, where today we will cover TT's fixed income trading platform, AxeTrader. In this webinar today, we'll be joined by Alex Aguinaldo from TT's service management team, who will show how the AxeTrader platform provides sophisticated, customizable pricing and quote management engine to maximize your efficiency and results trading fixed income products. Alex, who is based in Singapore, has been with the AxeTrader team for the past few years and joined TT when AxeTrader was acquired in 2023 by TT. Allow me now to hand off so Alex can demonstrate the TT Fixed Income AxeTrader platform.
I will give you an overview of Trading Technology's fixed income trading platform. First, I will give you a quick tour of AxeTrader interface, show you how you can create your own fully customized workspace. Then I will go through each one of the commonly used views in AxeTrader, namely the Overview panel, Components, Pricing Sheet, Order Book, Market Depth, and Blotters. Now let's begin. When you log into AxeTrader, there is already a preset default view, but the whole workspace is fully customizable. The screen can be logically split into different zones. You can drag the windows within the application as you like it. You can even drag them outside of the main window and have a separate open view. You can also resize the window width and length by hovering over its borders and dragging them. On the top left, you can see the different menu items. You have the file where you can set your preferences, the view where you can open different views or widgets, the help button, and the extras where you can create custom buttons. Just below it, you can see the stop all button, which does what it says and stop all functions like a panic button. Just beside it, you can see the central order book, which allows you to set your order book status. On the right, you have the different icons. The first one from the left is your order book that provides a quick access point to the order book and shows the activity, like the number of today's orders and executable orders. Next is firm quotes that shows open quotes sent by the dealer that are still on wire and waiting for counterparty to lift, hit, counter, or pass. Then your open requests, which shows open RFQs or RFOs that are waiting for dealer's response. Next icon shows you the number of subscribed users that are online. When you click on it, it shows all users. Next shows you the components which are online or connected. When you click on it, it shows all components configured in your AxeTrader and their respective status. Next shows you the books to which the user is subscribed and their respective status. Here, users can subscribe to receive ticket pop-ups for the subscribed book. Finally, the last icon shows you your user notification preference. With the preset default view, you can see on the left the Overview panel, which is like the main menu in AxeTrader. Here you can navigate and open your instruments, views, configurations, and other setup. For example, you have your instruments, which shows you the instruments, like bonds and swaps, that are available in the platform, sorted in groups and with all underlying static data for each instrument respectively. Legal entities, where you can set up multiple legal entities according to your requirement and where you are able to define your counterparties, books, desks, and roles for each one. Credit limit, where you can set and manage the limits for counterparties or sectors. Next is pricing sheets, which is the most commonly used function in the platform, where users can set up formula to define how to derive price for the instrument that you can then publish into different markets. I will talk about pricing sheets in more detail later. Next is AQ rules or auto quoting rules, where you can set different rules to automate the response to inquiries or RFQs coming from the market by defining criteria for triggers for different parameters that you can use. Going further down, you'll see users where you can manage platform users and assign roles to control user permissions and the assignment to books on which a user can trade. Calendars where you can create different calendars and set holidays, time zone, and currency for each. This is very important as your instruments will be assigned a calendar which will be used to derive booking and settlement of a trade, as well as for price and yield calculations. Last item worth mentioning is the components. Here you would have a list of internal and external components that are configured in the platform. Internal components compose of functionalities that are configured within AxeTrader. External components, also referred to as interfaces, that enable you to connect to third-party platforms or systems such as trading venues like Bloomberg or market access, data providers, and back-office systems, among others. The default startup workspace already have a variety of blotters opened. For example, the trade blotter contains the record of done trades and the details of these trades made over a period of time. The transaction monitor, on the other hand, contains not just the done trades, but all inquiries, including missed trades, together with all the negotiation steps. The other blotter worth mentioning is the message blotter, which shows you all the activities in the platform. You can also add your own custom blotters with your own filters. By default, you would also have a view of your shortcut buttons, which are custom buttons that you can configure to trigger commands such as launching all Q, YAS, or yield and spread analysis, and IB chat from your Bloomberg terminal. You will also have a market depth window, which shows you the prices and sizes from different sources like composite prices from Bloomberg, like BGN, CBBT, or market accesses CP+, or the actual firm prices on venues like UBS Bondport. Lastly, you would also have a trade dashboard view window open, which shows the trade history, the last 50 trades, for a specific instrument, counterparty, book, or user. Columns can be hidden or shown subject to user preferences and saved as profiles. Now that we've gone through some of the default views, let's start building your workspace. Two of the main views in the platform are the order book and the pricing sheet. The order book contains the list of buy and sell orders for bonds. The order book allows you to manage those orders, including receiving client orders such as those through voice or through an import function or via API integration. You are also able to match orders within the order book. Directly stage those orders by sending it to the different trading venues. Use those orders to quote on indicative markets and be able to receive RFQs, or request for quotes, and RFOs, or request for orders on them. Given that each legal entity can have their own order book, you can also forward orders across those different legal entities. The pricing sheet, on the other hand, is where you can manage your instruments, construct different pricing methodology, and publish prices to different markets. In the pricing sheet, you can feed in data from external sources, define data fields, define data structures to calculate prices based on the market data you fed in, and define methods for constructing and calculating prices that you will then eventually publish to the markets. Once your preferred view is completed, you can go to Help and click Save the Layout to save the view, or you can also just simply close the AxeTrader client by clicking on the cross in the right upper corner. This will save this setup and preference, which you will then see the next time you log in. Now that we've gone through the overview of the platform, I will now go through a simple example of creating a pricing sheet. I will go through a basic pricing sheet with simple pricing methodology and a couple of trading venue to publish prices to. First, go to Overview panel and look for your pricing sheet. Then right-click and select Create Pricing Sheet. Now you can name your pricing sheet, let's say Demo Sheet, and click Save. If you go to your pricing tab of your new pricing sheet, you can see that it is a complete blank page. You can right-click and click Edit Definition. Here you have multiple options of building your pricing sheet. You can build your pricing sheet from scratch by adding the fields that you need to use one by one. The first set of fields are the static data fields that contain details about the instrument from currency, symbols, and specific bond information such as coupon, coupon frequency, maturity, and so on. The next set of fields are called the advanced fields, which contain fields that you can use to construct and publish your prices to different trading venues. The general contains fields that help you to establish your pricing, such as a formula field, interpolation field, price method field, and source field, among others. The other set of advanced fields are to control publishing prices to the venues like firm destination field, instrument status, price type selector, and so on. The other options are under the Actions drop-down menu. The second option is if you have a previous pricing sheet file available, you can choose to load fields from file. This will then load the pricing sheet fields together with the formulas and methodologies that are inside. This would normally come from a pricing sheet that either you or other colleagues have previously exported. You can see the export option here. The third option is to load fields from other sheets that you have in the system. Again, similar to loading fields from file. This works if you already have other existing pricing sheet that you want to copy from. For this demo, let's import a basic template sheet that I have, and then we can go through each of the fields in there. In this example, the first few fields are just static information to identify the instrument, like the name, issuer, and the symbol of the instrument or bond. The next field is a source field, which is a field that you can use to source data. In this example, the source is from Bloomberg's data subscription called bpipe. We then define what field or data point we are going to source. For this one, it's the bid price. Next is another source field, also sourced from bpipe, but this time taking the ask price. Next is the inventory field. You can see here that when I clicked on the inventory field, it highlighted other fields like realized P&L, unrealized P&L, bid price, ask price, and average price. If you look at the setup of inventory field, you can set the inventory source for this. We will put inventory management, which is an internal AxeTrader component that calculates your inventory and other inventory related figures like average price, realized and unrealized profit and loss. The book is the book where the inventory will be picked up from. In this inventory field, you can also set up fields to capture your profit and loss. You can do this by first defining your mark to market values like start of day, mark to market bid, and ask price, and your current mark to market bid and ASK price. With these values defined, you can then next define your output values like the average price, which will calculate the average price of the security based on transactions, the realized profit and loss or P&L, and your unrealized profit and loss or P&L. Next one is the price method field, where you can define the pricing methodology that you want to implement. Here, you need to identify a target record field for both bid and ask price. And then in the box below, you can create different pricing methodologies you want to use. In this template, I've created two simple pricing methodologies. The first one is called BGN. If you open it, it's basically plain and simple, the composite BGN price you sourced from B pipe, plus and minus a spread. As you can see in this box, you are free to define or use different source fields, formulas, and other previously defined fields to construct your own pricing methodology. Once you select a formula, it will also provide you the details of the required variables. The next methodology is just a simple manual entry using a predefined persistence field. Next fields are your bid and ask price, which you used as target field for your price methodology. You also have the spread field here, which is what you used in the pricing methodology to add the spread on BGN sourced price. Next is the manual price field, where you can use to enter a manual price that you defined as one of your price method. Next is size, which is the size of the bond or instrument that you will quote to different markets or venues. Next one is the status field, which is used to set the status of the quoting instrument to on, pending, indicative, or off. The next fields are indicative destination fields, or IDF, that you use to define the trading venues where you will publish your prices. For example, I have here market access, where I've put market access market making venue as the contribution destination. And I've also linked the price method to use, which then selects the value of bid and ask prices. Next is WebTrader, which is our own web-based distribution platform, where you can publish prices to either your sales team or your own client base. This venue also provides them an opportunity to send RFQs, RFOs, and leave orders. Similar to Market Access IDF, here you can also select a price method to use. The last IDF is All Q, which is a Bloomberg trading venue. The last two fields are the start of day bid and ask that are fields used as input for your inventory management. Once you're done configuring your fields, just click OK and wait for it to load. Now let's add instruments into your pricing sheet. You just right-click on your pricing sheet and click Edit Groups or Instruments. Here you can see on the left pane all the available instruments in the system. You can either navigate manually and look for the instruments you want to add, or you can use the search bar to look for the specific instrument you want to add in. For this demo, I will select Asia Corporates and add all instruments under that group into our pricing sheet. At the bottom, you can see Auto Grouping option. This allows you to structure how you group your instruments in your pricing sheet. If you tick it, you can see the different fields you can group your instruments into. For this demo, I'll group it according to issuer. You can see the grouping on the preview pane on the right. Once you are happy with it, you can just click OK. Now that you have added the instruments, you can now see your pricing sheet with the fields that you have previously set up. Before we can start using the pricing sheet, we still need to set up the tiering for this sheet. You can do that by going to tiers. Here you can either reuse an existing tier by right-clicking and click Edit, or you can create a new one. Let's create a new one. You can either create a new one that is not part of a tier group, or you can create it under an existing tier grouping. For this, let's put it under existing gold tier group. Let's name it Asia Corporates. For pricing sheet, we select our newly created demo sheet. For price method, since for that demo sheet we only have one price method that we set up in that sheet, hence it automatically selected that price method. That method will then define the fields for your tier, which includes the bid and ask value max bid and ask size, bid and ask status, and so on. The other section worth mentioning or setting up is the pricing sheet columns for ticket. Here you can choose columns from your pricing sheet that you would like the system to display in your ticket pop-ups. For this, let's add current inventory, unrealized P&L, realized P&L, bid price, and ask price, and click Save. Now that we have the pricing sheet and tier set up, we can now start quoting to the market and receive inquiries. As I have set up my price method to take price from BGN, let's turn on Bloomberg bpipe component so that market data starts coming in. Go to Components and right-click on Bloomberg bpipe and set Interface Online. Once it is online, you can see your BGN data has started coming in. You can also see that your market depth window now has the BGN price feeding in. Because of the price method formula we set up, which is based on BGN, you can also see that my bid and ask price fields have started getting populated. Let's just key in a spread. Let's say 0.5. Let's do the same for 10-cent bonds. Now that we have our price ready, let's start working on publishing it in a trading venue. For this demo, I will show you how to publish price to MarketAxess trading venue. To do that, let's make sure that the MarketAxess Market Maker interface is online. We can go back again to Components and right-click on MarketAxess Market Maker and set Interface Online. Once that is online, you can now go back to your pricing sheet and start quoting. You can do that by simply clicking on your MarketAxess field and it will turn online. You can see that it turned from red to green. To publish your prices, you can click Quote. You can see that it also turned to green and displays the time of last refresh of the quote to the market. Now that you are quoting to the market, you have to make sure that you also update both your instrument and book status. You can set your instrument status in your pricing sheet to On to enable auto quoting. When the instrument and the book is online for quoting and trading, all responses can be controlled by the auto quoting rules configuration, which means that response to RFQs are automatically responded to without the ticket popping out. Or you can set it to pending to set the instrument online for quoting and trading, but all incoming inquiries will pop up and will require a trader's response. Or you can set it to indicative to set the instrument online for quoting indicative prices, but set trading disabled. And finally, you can set it to off to disable quoting and trading. For now, since I haven't configured any auto quoting rule, we can set it on, and it will have the same impact as pending. You also have the status option on the book level. Similarly, you can set the book to on, pending, indicative, or off, which has the same impact as your instrument status definition. For now, let's set it to pending so that we can see the RFQ ticket pop up. If there is a difference in the status of the instrument and the book, the system will take the more conservative of the two. In this scenario, even though my instrument status is set to on, which should enable auto quoting, the system will not auto quote and will pop up the ticket because my book is set to pending. Having the instrument status also allows you the flexibility to control which specific instruments you want to quote and trade on. Now that I have set up my instrument pricing sheet and quoting, I will do a demo trade using MarketAxess trading venue. To simulate the trade, I've logged in here in MarketAxess interface as one of my counterparty. Now let's copy one of the instruments we are quoting and check it in MarketAxess. You can see that our prices are quoted here. Let's key in the side of request. Key in the size, let's say 250,000, and select Axe, which is our dealer ID here. And now submit the RFQ. As you can see on AxeTrader, a ticket has popped out. Here you can see the side of the ticket, which also displays the green color to align with the side. The details of the instrument with ISIN, the market or venue where it came from, which in this case is market access, and the counterparty or customer. You can also see the yellow box on each end, which signifies the tier of the counterparty, which in this case is gold. Here you have the size and the price of the ticket. And if you scroll further, you can see the fields from pricing sheet that you have previously set in the tiering configuration, such as inventory, unrealized and realized P&L, and bid and ask price. You can also see here at the bottom a display of the market depth, which allows you to quickly reference prices in the market for that particular instrument. At the bottom, you can also see the different rule engine notification, like the book is set to pending and the credit limit check processed normally. You can see on the right side of the ticket the different action buttons, like ignore if you want to remove the ticket pop-up. This is for situation where you have multiple traders sharing the same book and the ticket is for someone else. Mine, if you want to take the ticket and remove the pop-up from other traders sharing the same book. Send, to send your price quotation back. Reject if you want to reject the ticket request. Reject with reason if you want to reject, and provide a reason in the customer notes for the counterparty to see. For this, I will just send a price response. Going back to the market access window, now you can see that our prices has been received, and I'll just click hit. For this, I'm just overriding best execution to complete the trade cycle. The counterparty now has the confirmation of the trade that was done. Going back to AxeTrader, you can see at the bottom the different blotters. To see the trade that I have just completed, I will go to Trade Blotter, which contains all the trades I've done. Here you can see all the details of the trade that we've just completed, from its static data like instrument name and symbol to the trade details like side, price, yield, size, settlement amount, and so on. In addition to this, the system will also capture a snapshot of the market depth with the prices in the market. These information can then be fed into your downstream middle and back office systems through our APIs. The next tab worth mentioning is the transaction monitor, which captures each step of each transaction in the system. For the trade that we had just completed, you can see each of the trade negotiation steps that we just performed are all captured here. From the initial quote request up to final step of being traded. If you go back to your pricing sheet, you can see that it has also been updated and now contains the trade that we just completed. Our current inventory for this instrument is now at 250,000. You can also see that the average price has now been filled for that instrument. That concludes this session. Just to recap, I have taken you through an overview of AxeTrader interface. I took you through the initial setup and views, navigating the overview panel and components, helped you set up a simple pricing sheet, introduced the order book, helped you feed data to your market depth, and showed your sample completed trade in your blotters.
Thank you, Alex. And hopefully everyone here has gained a comprehensive understanding of the benefits and capabilities of TT's Fixed Income AxeTrader platform. If you would like to inquire about gaining access to TT AxeTrader, please reach out to your TT sales representative directly. If you have any questions about the material covered, please email us at training-ux@tradingtechnologies.com. Thank you very much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you for our next webinar topic at a future time.